Mark, earlier we mentioned about the people-centric approach and the way we have to position ourselves between the business and the people, and that comes an issue. That might be an issue with boundaries. How do you manage boundaries without keeping yourself at a professional level, without overstepping the personal aspect with the employees?
A lot of people, a lot of sayings, a lot of companies, even on TV, whatsoever, we hear that the business, the company is your family. Nowadays, I have learned that the business, the company, it is not your family, because if something happens, yes, the company, the business is there to help you, but morally, or the family, your blood, they're not in there. They're not with you at the hospital, God forbid, or they're not with you at home, So there is that line, that boundary word that you are talking about, Daniel, and we have to respect that, because at the end of the day, we have 200 people, which means 200 families, and each family, let's say, is made of at least 2 or 3 people. We're talking about 400, 500, 600
Yes,
people.
yes.
Imagine I'm treating 600 people as my own family.
Yeah.
It cannot sustain, you cannot sustain it,
Mm-hmm.
So there is already a natural boundary. There was a time some years ago whereby myself, I had to find assistance. I had to speak to a professional, because I wanted help myself, because there was a time when a lot of people were coming with, I mentioned before, a lot of social aspect problems. You feel pity for these people, you want to help, but again, who am I to do so? I'm not a professional. Yes, we do have the Richmond Foundation initiative. We have find a lot of comfort zone in Richmond Foundation. I know that even our employees, there are their clients in certain cases, but the moment that you start listening, you try to go and understand what they are going through, not just the person in front of you, the rest of the family, even if you have old parents, that feeling, being a father myself, you understand. The worst thing then, when you listen about having an employee who has a child and there are serious health issues, you feel nothing, obsolete, you would love to do a lot for this person, but you can't. But then again, I had to learn and to understand that I need to move on. At the end of the day, I have to return to home. I have my family, and I have to respect, and I have to assist my family as well. So by the time I even realized that even by actively listening to employees, you're already doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Very true.
moments in time, there was a sales manager, if he's listening to this podcast, he will know who I'm talking about. We're outside here, we're closing the door, because at 6 we close the door. We have sort of
That's
that
a
type
rule.
of rule.
Yeah.
By 6, everything is switched off. You're not bound to reply to emails whatsoever. We're closing the door.
Yeah.
And this person started telling me, listen, Mark, my mother-in-law is this and that. She's in her last phase of her life, And I was there standing still, listening, and I kept listening, just moving my head as an acknowledgement for about 10 to 15 minutes. And all of a sudden, this person told me, you know what, Mark? I'm really feeling relieved now that you listened to me, but I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
But for him, it was the best thing, how he ended up his day,
Yeah.
Even for me, I had to go at home with all that information at the back of my mind. But apart from him, I've heard this and that, which is going on, because health issues, I don't know. Even the past couple of years, coupled with, I mentioned the education challenges. When it comes to health issues, there are a lot of health issues. Even when you go in the education system, we find a lot of people who are assisting a lot of children. We have just heard that an incident at one of the secondary schools with a butter knife.
Yes.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Why all these things are happening?
Yeah.
There are a lot of social problems. Maybe when it comes to education, we need to think twice. What is the best nowadays? do we have an agenda which is sort of some backdated now? A lot of things has to change now to keep upfront with all the changes which are going on right now. But for me, that is the type of boundary that I've learned that I have to adopt and that I have to live up with nowadays.
Yes.